And out on track, the cars are ready to go for the first heat. The series leader is John Lund, and he's being followed very closely by Bobby Burns, the driver of that 471 car. Ray Tilsley, Mr. Beef, is in third place, and then back in fourth and fifth, it's Nigel Wharton and Mike Close, two drivers who are unlikely to be with us this afternoon. Down into the lower half of the top 10, Frankie Wainman is sixth, Bert Finnegan seventh. In eighth place, it's Dave Beresford, who's qualified for front row in the World Final this year for the Formula One stocks. In ninth place, it's Rob Pearce. And in 10th place, the defending world champion, Peter Faulding. So those are the top 10 as we go into this afternoon's round on a glorious sunny afternoon here at Mildenhall Stadium. We've had one or two early races from other formulas, and just a bit of dust was flying about. It's going to take an awful lot of water to keep the dust down this afternoon when the Formula Ones start flying. So we'll need to be on our toes to identify drivers as they fly through the dust. There's Frankie Wainman in the sixth position in the Screen Sport Formula One Superstar Series as they get the signal to start racing. That's the green. They're off and racing. And a two-car tangle up there at the top end of the home straight. Phil Bicknell, one of them, car number 7. And he's been shunted back in as he tries to get out of that tangle down there. Roger Ward's coming through in 497. So round the turn they go. That's the bar bend, which will take them through into the back straight. And Andy Webb moving through nicely there in car 247. Stargrade driver just at the front of those three, with Rob Pearce in touch with him in 175. There's a good shot of Andy Webb in 247. And it looks as though it's Wally Pittam who has the lead in 134. And there he is, coming through from the bottom turn into the home straight. Very tight track here at Mildenhall. Not very long straights, and as soon as they've straightened up, they're back into the next bend. Frankie Wainman going through nicely in 212. And just in front of him, we then saw Rob Pearce in 175. So dust storm certainly on that bend at the moment. Someone has obviously been forced onto the infield where the water has not reached. And down the home straight they come. Well, that's Wally Pittam, car 134, the early leader of this race. So Pittam takes them around the bar bend in that lead position. Rob Pearce just in touch with him there in 175. And out of that turn they go. Dust flying again from the infield. Nice shot of Rob Pearce disappearing into the home straight there. Frankie Wainman coming through in 212. So there's Wainman taking the outside line around that turn. Down the back straight he goes into that bottom turn. Frankie Wainman certainly looking for some points to move him up the Screen Sports Superstar Series this afternoon. Round the turn. Nice shot of him drifting the car around that turn. Into the back straight it goes again. And that's the lead man. It's Rob Pearce in 175 who has the lead. Starman from Huncote in Leicestershire. Frankie Wainman is in second place in 212. So the Starmen up front in the early stages of this opening heat. There's Pearce again. There's Wainman in second place in 212. White top stalled on the home straight there. Not a very healthy position to park your car. Wainman just picking up a back marker there. That's the lead man. It's Rob Pearce in 175. And that dust on the inside of that turn is going to cause problems during the afternoon. There's Wainman going through. So that's the second place man. Wainman in 212. And there's a tangle on the home straight. That's Jeff Nichols getting airborne. The early leader, Wally Pittam, shunted away onto the tyres there. That's Roy McLester who's gone in, and Wainman's blown a tyre. Wainman in second place has blown a tyre, collided with that back marker. That's the end of Wainman's race, and no Screen Sport points for him in the opening heat. And Pearce in trouble as well. The leader has gone, Rob Pearce, 175. Stuart Smith just landing with a bang there, the 139 car. So all sorts of action around the circuit. Terry Jackson's been out in 485. He's just setting off after them again. And it's Andy Webb in 247 who's taken over the lead position. There he is, around that bar bend and into the back straight, the 247 car. That's Andy Webb from Daventry, Northamptonshire. Formula 2 world champion some 20 years ago, and now winning races in Formula 1 as he comes through the dust he goes, down the home straight again. And this tight and tricky Mildenhall circuit taking the star men out there. Rob Pearce getting hit with back markers, so did Frankie Wayman. And it's Andy Webb who's left to take the lead now. Roger Warren's just in front of him in 4.97. The bumper goes in there. Webb in no mood to hang about as he tries to nudge Warren's out of the way. Side by side on that back straight. So back again into the home straight, and the bumper's flying as Warnes tries to get Webb out now. We're into the closing stages. They've got just a couple of laps to run. And Andy Webb has the lead position in 2:47. Coming around that bottom turn, he'll be looking to start his last lap as he comes through on the home straight this time. There it is, the last lap sign out for Andy Webb in 2:47. And there's the luckless Frankie Wayman, who's still circulating despite having a flat front tyre. 2-1-2, he's going to finish way down the places. And there's Andy Webb into the home straight, looking for the checkered flag this time. And there it is, Andy Webb wins the opener in 2:47. Second place went to Roger Warnes in car 497, and in third it was white top Eric Graveling in 315. Good drive there by Eric. Well, earlier this afternoon, Liz had a word with the series leader, John Lund, before he goes out on track for his first of the day.
John, when we last spoke, you said you were having a lucky series, and that seems to have continued.
Yes, it has up till now, but at the moment I've got a sick engine. It's burning a bit of oil. I'm taking it out tomorrow to get it done up, so hopefully it'll be back on form again, but I don't know how I'll go on today, really. I'll probably, everybody behind me won't be able to see for blue smoke.
So has the engine been playing you up a bit recently?
No, it's been very reliable. It's just lost power now. It's got tired.
So does that mean that your first place is in jeopardy today, then?
It could do, you never know. It's not really my favourite track round here. Every other meeting it's been really wet, and today it's dry, so it might be better today.
It's extremely dusty, and I should think the vision's going to be quite bad.
Yeah.
And any other reason that you're not too keen on this track, or is it just the dust?
I've never just really got to grips with it somehow. I'm struggling.
So will you be looking out for Bobby Burns, who's only 3 points behind you?
I will if he comes, but I don't think he's come yet, has he?
Well, we'll have to check out. I'm sure if he's here, he'll be after you.
He'll be out for it, yeah, definitely.
They've done a lot of watering, so hopefully the dust will not be so much of a problem in this one. And that's the green flag. They've got the green, they're away and racing. And the watering, in fact, has had the effect of slowing them down as they move away down the home straight there. On the opening lap, Rob Cowley goes through in 73, and there's John Lund in 53, behind in the world champion Peter Faulding 33. Just a few weeks left before Peter Faulding has to defend that world title. And there they go down the home straight. Roy McLester has spun in 178. John Lund and Peter Faulding going through there. And a tangle down there on that turn. John Thorpe involved in that in 433. Also out 73, Rob Cowley. And that's John Pearce, car 75. Younger brother of Rob Pearce, Starman 175. Rob, we saw in the first heat, failed to qualify. That's nicely done there as Pearce spins the 173 car out on that bottom turn. And it's Wally Pittham in the lead in 134. And a 381, Ian Hall in second place. John Lund moving through into third now in 53. And that looks like the lead man, second of the two cars coming towards us down the home straight. Wally Pittham in 134. There he goes around that turn into the back straight. That's the race leader. That's Pittham in 134. Comes from Derbyshire and lead man in this second heat at the moment. But John Lund moving through nicely, and John will pretty soon be putting the pressure on Wally Pittham. There's the leader going through. And it looks as though John Lund is through into second in 53 with Ian Hall, 381, another yellow top driver back in third place. There he goes, and 33 world champion Peter Faulding running fourth. So those are the top four. Peter Fording putting some pressure on Ian Hall now in the battle for third place. Behind them come Rob Cowley and John Thorpe. They both went out in a tangle earlier in the race. Ian Hall just drifts a little bit too wide. Peter Fording sees a gap on the inside and through he goes. Ian Hall trying to get in there with the bumper there. There goes the bumper. Nicely done by Yellow Top. Ian Hall pushing Peter Fording out wide. And if he got the power, he'd be back on the inside there. But it looks as though he hasn't quite. Or has he? Yes, they've tangled together. But Ian Hall has regained that position. Nice bit of driving there. And that's sure to wind the world champion up. Indeed it does. And into the fence goes Ian Hall. You don't mess with world champions unless you can get away with it. And Peter Fording proving that there. So that was nicely done as Fording regained third place. Behind him, John Thorpe putting some pressure on him now. Peter Fording has had a luckless season. And he's trying to get things just right now to defend that world title. And that's the new leader, John Lund. He's taken over up front in 53. Wally Pittham second there in 134. Fording is third, coming through now in 33. So John Lund doing pretty much as he likes with this depleted field in the second heat. Coming back around into the home straight. Yellow Top Wally Pittham goes through, then Peter Fording. Behind him comes John Thorpe and then Rob Cowley. We're moving towards the closing stages in this second heat. And that's John Thorpe in the ex-Stuart Smith car. Stuart Smith recently came out of retirement to race out at the meeting and set it up for John Thorpe, but back into retirement he's gone. And John Thorpe has taken the car over and making it handle pretty well. Peter Fording in 33 there has now moved through into second place, dropping Wally Pittham down into third as they come through, and Pittham under pressure there. John Thorpe has gone past him. So good drive by Wally Pittham, but he's beginning to drop down the places in the closing stages. And there is the leader, 53, John Lund, on his way down the home straight, down into that turn. So Lund holding on to his lead position. Not too many back markers to trouble him. And those are two back markers coming through. Peter Fording there just behind them is running in second place. They've got less than 2 laps to run. Mr. Starter just signalling to the drivers as they come through, telling them what position they're in. Now that the lap boards are out, we're in the closing stages. And that looks like the last lap that they're on now. Peter Fording still holding second in 33. And there's John Lund over the line, the winner of Heat 2. So superb drive by John Lund, the current British champion, and holding on to his place at the top of the Screen Sports Superstar Series as we go through this round at Mildenhall this afternoon. So there he is on his slowing down lap. John Lund, the winner in car number 53. Second place went to the world champion. That's Peter Fording from Rotherham in 33. And in third place, stock car still chasing those Screen Sport points. This is the Consolation event. And it's for those who didn't get through at the first time of asking, or in the case of the low graders at the second time of asking, because some of them have been out in 2 heats. And those are the lead cars. And as the green flag goes down, Rob Pearce, the star man at the back of the grid in 175 on paper, should really have this race sewn up fairly early on. But of course, nothing's certain in stock car racing until the checkered flag goes down. So we'll see how Rob Pearce gets on. That's the lead man in the early stages. It's Craig Howarth, car number 52. He comes through onto the home straight. Running second, it's 75, John Pearce. Going through third there was Ian Hall, 381. Behind him, Wayne Handley in 378. So that's the top 4. Mark Taylor just in behind them there in 490. Those are the leaders coming through from that turn. And there's Rob Pearce back in 6th place in 175. Just in front of him, the Blue Roof driver, 490, Mark Taylor. Actually won the final here at the previous Mildenhall meeting. Ian Hall in trouble down there in 381. And that gives Rob Pearce a chance to move through in 175. So that puts Pearce up into about 5th place, I think. Just in front of him there, Taylor. And the leaders disappearing down the straight and around that turn. So through they go with blue top Mark Taylor. Under a bit of pressure now from Rob Pearce in 175. Pearce just easing back there. Opted not to use the bumper. But the pressure has forced Taylor out wide now. Pierce would look down the inside there, but not enough room. So he has to sit behind Mark Taylor for the time being. No opportunity to get past him. But Rob Pierce is one of those sort of drivers that eventually his patience will run out and the bumper will go in with a hefty bang. Through they go around that bottom turn. Wayne Handley, 378, was running third, but he's been nudged aside now by the top two men in the race, Mark Taylor and Rob Pierce. And they're back on the home straight again, and Pierce unable to find a gap to get past Mark Taylor. So looking back down straight, the tail enders rolling on through as we look for the lead man coming through. And there he is, coming down the home straight now, 52, Craig Howarth. Let's see the lead he's got. So those are the second, third and fourth. In second, John Pierce, 75. Mark Taylor just nudging Pierce aside, and they've tangled up. They've tangled up and gone wide there, so Rob Pierce is through. Rob Pierce in 175 through to second. There he goes. Mark Taylor is third, and it looked as though John Pierce in car 75 got a flat tyre in that shunt he had with Mark Taylor. They've got just 2 laps to run. We're in the closing stages, and that's still the leader. It's Craig Howarth, car number 52. And Rob Pierce working hard, but he's running out of laps, and it doesn't look as though he's going to catch the leader. And John Pierce has got a flat tyre on the back wheel, car number 75. He'll limp around and try to get into the final, but he's going to shed that tyre from the rim long before the end. Down the home straight goes Craig Howarth, car number 52. So there's John Pierce in 75 trying to hold on and grab a place and get himself through to the final. But that's the race winner, Craig Howarth, on his slowing down lap. Rob Pierce did not get through to take the checkered. He spent too much time trying to get past Mark Taylor, so a good drive in a very smart-looking car by Craig Howarth. He comes from Rochdale, up in the Manchester area. Car number 52, the winner of the Consolation. Second place went to Rob Pierce in 175, and in third it was 490, Mark Taylor.
Well, one thing about stock car racing is that it often runs in families. There's Frankie Wayman Jr. in mini stocks and John Toulson Jr., who we saw in action in Newton Aycliffe. Now, some of you may remember Gary Maynard, a blue top driver from not so many years ago. And with me now is his son, Gary Maynard, who's making his debut here today in Formula One stock car racing here at Mildenhall. So how's it been today, Gary?
Well, apart from the prop shaft coming off in the first one, the second one a little bit wet, but seemed to be getting the hang of it. The car seems to be very good, very pleased with it.
Were you very apprehensive about your debut?
Yes, I was really nervous this morning, but the car seems nice to see. The seating position's nice, it seems to go well, so I'm really pleased.
Now, although this is your first time actually racing in Formula One stock car meeting, you have been involved in the sport nearly all your life, haven't you?
Yeah, well, my dad raced Formula Ones, then I did mini stocks, and then I'm a mechanic for Mo Smith for 4 years, which I'm hoping to continue and race part-time as well.
Now, you were a red top, I believe, in mini stocks.
Yes, right, yes, I was. I did minis for 4 years, managed to get a red top, but the travelling put us out.
This is, of course, completely different. Do you find that it's a hell of a challenge?
It is a hell of a challenge. It's the money involved, and it's getting a car to handle and having the facilities to travel and the place to do it, which at the moment I've got the car, but it's going to be the travelling.
So you've paid out for it, but there's still a lot of problems yet to come.
There's still one or two things. Like hopefully Mo will let me go behind his coach and we'll have a good relationship together still.
Now, of course, you must be used to this track because you live locally, don't you?
Yes, we live not far away, but funny enough, it's the first time I've ever raced here. We never raced the minis here.
So it's a debut in every sense?
Yes, yes, first time at all.
Well, we look forward to seeing you again.
Okay.
Best of luck.
So on to the day's grand final with the qualifiers from the 2 heats and the Consolation event. And the battle at the top of the Screen Sports Series joined again. John Lund, the leader before today. Frankie Wayman just behind him there on track was down in 6th place. And Peter Faulding, just moving out of shot there, was down in 10th place. But they've all been scoring pretty well this afternoon, so we're about to see a change in the points after today's round. They're under starters' orders for the grand final then. They've got 20 racing laps to get through in this one. Those are the low graders down at the front of the grid. They've got the green, they're away and racing. There is the green flag. Into the final we go. Now a bad start by Stuart McLester there in 173. Spins it round and climbs onto the tyres on the infield. Now, once again, the track has been watered in an effort to keep the dust down, so hopefully we'll get good visibility throughout the race. The Starmen moving around that turn and into the back straight. This looks like the leaders coming through with Craig Howarth, who won the Consolation there in 52 in the lead. Behind him, Ian Hall in 3.81 and Wally Pittam in 1.34. And those are the top three early on. The Blues going through there. And Roger Warren's being shunted out into the wires there in 4.97. Jeff Nichols goes out with him, and Andy Webb in trouble, and so's Peter Fording, the world champion. So 4 cars losing ground there early on. 2 of them back racing, the Starmen, but the 2 Blues have been left in the fence. There's Stuart McClester about to rejoin. He was the first casualty in this race. He's back on track. Round the turn they go, moving through onto the home straight. And here come the Starmen. Rob Pearce leading them through by the look of things in 1.75. And there is Pearce, the leading red in the early stages of this grand final. Just trying to push his way through. That's the lead man, Craig Howarth, in a spot of bother there. Bounced the fence, so Wally Pittam's gone in 1.34. That's Jeff Nichols who's gone with him in 2.15. Pittam finds reverse gear and he's trying to get himself out of that mess. So as the lead men go through, the Andy Webb there, we saw him go out early on in 2.47. He's chasing through, trying to get back with them. And it looks as though Frankie Wayman's gone. That's John Lund coming through in 53. Peter Fording there in 33. And there's Wayman in 2.12. So he's lost some ground. And Rob Pearce has just lost a bit of ground in 1.75. So the cars go down the home straight. And John Lund moving through pretty well. He's managed to avoid the trouble so far in the number 53 car. Just whipping around the outside of that parked car belonging to Wally Pittam. Roger Warnes goes through in 4.97. Looks to be in the lead position, although we did see Roger hit the fence earlier on in the race. And through they come from that turn. So that's the lead man going down the home straight. And there's Frankie Wayman. He's lost a lot of ground in 2.12. The leader just behind him on track. And there's Wayman trying to make up that ground, chasing Jeff Nichols through into the home straight. So that's the lead man, Roger Warnes, 4.97. Behind him it's Mark Taylor in 4.90. And then comes Rob Pearce in 1.75 and John Lund in 53. So a check of the charts reveals that Roger Warnes did in fact lose a lap early on when he clobbered the fence, and that means that he's a lap down, so's Frankie Wayman, and that's the leader there, Mark Taylor in 4.90, the yellow car with the blue roof. He won the final here last time, Mark Taylor, and he's leading this one so far. Comes from Lancashire, a long way to travel to Mildenhall. But Mark Taylor, the leader, he's got Starmen chasing him through now as Taylor goes down the home straight again. He's the leader, trying desperately to get Frankie Wayman out of his way. Wayman almost a lap down on the leader, having lost ground early on. That's second and third. It's Rob Pearce 1.75 and John Lund 53. And there are the 1, 2, 3 together in shot coming back off that turn. Taylor the leader, Pearce second, Lund third. And through they go. So that's the leading two. Wayman and Warnes just in front of them, and they're making no impression. They're almost a lap down, and they're trying desperately to get back with those leaders. Dust just beginning to fly a little bit now as the watered part of the track thins out. And there's Pearce bidding for the lead on that turn. He's found a gap and he's through on the inside. So Rob Pearce takes the lead in 1.75. And he tangles with that white top there, Gary Maynard, who we saw Liz talking to earlier on, 1.51. He gets nudged aside, but Pearce holds on to his lead. Taylor fighting back, though. There's Pearce, the leader. Taylor second. And behind them, going through in third place, it looks as though it's could be John Thorpe, in fact, in 4.33, and then John Lund in 53, and then Peter Fording 33. So Peter Fording beginning to move through the field a little bit, the world champion. And Rob Pearce has got some back markers in front of him now as he goes around that parked car again and into the back straight. That's the lead man, the 1.75 car in the lead. And those back markers, Frankie Wayman and Roger Warnes, who just not getting anywhere up the places after their tangles earlier on. So the tail-enders creeping through down the home straight. Andy Webb, who lost ground early on. Rob Cowley goes through in 73. And here come the leaders. The two back markers leading them down the home straight. And there is the lead man, Rob Pearce in 175. We're going through the closing stages of this grand final. Rob Pearce started the day in 9th place in the Screen Sport points. This is going to help him a lot as he leads through off that turn. Mark Taylor still chasing hard, and that's the last lap. So out onto the last lap he goes. John Thorpe pushing and shoving well in 4.33. And John Lund just in behind them. It's going to be quite a crunch for them in the dash for the line. Here they come off the last turn, and Rob Pearce is leading it down the home straight, and Pearce takes the checkered flag. Second man home there is Mark Taylor in 4.90. And then the rest of them come through, and Taylor's clobbered the fence just after finishing. So Mark Taylor's valiant drive ends in the fence. Tremendous battle in the closing stages there with the top 4 or 5 cars all very close together. It looks as though the series leader John Lund did not manage to get into the top 3 in this one. That is the winner from Leicestershire 175, Rob Pearce. Second place went to Mark Taylor in 4.90. He hit the fence right after crossing the line, which means that the winner of the final this afternoon is handicapped by 1 full lap, and there he is. Rob Pearce, car 175 at the front of the grid. So he's got the work to do to get round and get in amongst the star men before they start moving too far clear of him. The white tops lining up behind him. And as usual, it's a very slow rolling lap when a star man leads it. Just on the infield there, just disappearing out of shot, Craig Howard, 52. They've been working very hard on that car, trying to get it going, but it looks as though they failed. It's going to be a non-starter in this all-comers race. And we've got the green flag, so way into the race we go. So the usual question, how far up the placings can Rob Pearce get from the 1 lap handicap? Those are the men behind him as the race starts. And he's got to get in amongst them. 53, John Lund, trying to consolidate his position at the top of the Screen Sport points. Frankie Wayman just in front of him there. Frankie hasn't had too memorable an afternoon. He'll be desperate to do something rather spectacular in this one. So they move away as the race action starts. Roger Warnes in 4.97, pushing yellow top Ian Hall, 3.81 around that turn. Wayman, Lund and Peter Faulding there going down that back straight together. John Thorpe just in front of them. The bumper's going. Wayman gets the back wheels airborne there as John Lund was pushing in behind him. And they've left yellow top Ian Hall behind them now as they thunder down that straight. And there's Faulding chasing Lund and Wayman. And that's 4.90 Mark Taylor, and it looks as though he's taken over the lead position. Jeff Nichols going through there in 2.15, and he's turned around. Roger Warnes has taken him out, but he's done it wrong. He's taken himself as well. Wayman nips through on the inside. Lund and Faulding have to go on the outside. So Nichols and Warnes, they're straightening up pretty quick to get after them. There's Rob Cowley, 73. He's in second place, chasing after Mark Taylor, 4.90. White top driver just getting involved there, doing a bit of shoving himself. Looks like Neil Smith in 5.07. And that's the leader. It's Mark Taylor in 4.90. Through he goes down the home straight. Rob Cowley second in 73. Neil Smith third in 5.07. And in fact, it's Eric Graveling in 3.15, that white top who's running third. Graveling out with a new car today, having wrecked the previous one in a multiple shunt at Northampton a few weeks ago. Well, that's the leader, Mark Taylor in 4.90. Through from that turn. There's second, 73, Rob Cowley. So they're beginning to pick off the back markers. That looks like Ian Hall they've just lapped. So Frankie Wayman comes through in third, and there's John Lund in fourth, and Peter Faulding's tangled out with John Thorpe. The two of them shoot away onto the middle there and clobber the infield marker tyres. Peter Faulding finds reverse gear, trying to get back in the race. And it looks as though he's going to be lucky. He is lucky. John Thorpe not so. Well, there's Wayman going through, and there's Lund. And Lund's got a bit of traffic to deal with now, and Frankie Wayman's through to second. Eric Graveling's gone there in 3.15. That's the leader, Mark Taylor in 4.90. He's a long way clear now. Wayman through to second in 2.12. And there's the battle for the minor places going on as John Lund tries to shift Rob Cowley out of the way. So Lund has managed to let Wayman slip away from him. Wayman is second, Lund back in fourth. Cowley goes out wide on that turn, and Lund will try to go by him on the inside line down the home straight that time. And there it is, Lund moves through to third, but that's second. Peter Faulding, of course, a lap down on them now in number 33. He went out in that tangle. So there up at the front, it's Mark Taylor, under pressure now from Frankie Wainman. That's the battle for the lead. The bumper goes in, and Wainman shoves Taylor out wide. Taylor tries to get back on the inside line, but to no avail, and Wainman is in the lead now in 2-1-2. Terrible afternoon Wainman has had, but he's leading this one, trying to make up for the disappointments in the earlier events. Taylor is in second place, but that's the lead of the national points champion, Frankie Wainman. There goes Mark Taylor second. Peter Faulding trying to unlap himself there, nudges Mark Taylor out wide. Faulding moving through there, but Taylor still holding on to his second place. John Lund is in third. Rob Cowley's back in fourth. So there they go through. Wainman the leader, Mark Taylor in second place, John Lund is third. And there's Rob Cowley and Jeff Nichols having a tremendous tussle further on down the line. Mark Taylor motoring nicely in 4.90. He's under pressure now from John Lund in 53. Taylor is in second place, Lund is in third. Lund closing on Taylor. Rob Pearce we can see in the fence there in 175, so he hasn't got very far on this one. But there's Lund again, streaking around that turn, trying to get past Taylor on the inside, trying to find a gap. And once again he leans on the inside line, and Taylor turns back at him, but Lund looks as though he's got him this time. Down the home straight, Taylor tries to turn into, but Lund is through. So John Lund then beats Mark Taylor in their minor place battle, but that man, Frankie Wainman, is the winner of the Grand National Heats. Congratulations to him, made up for the disappointments he suffered earlier in the day. And that tremendous battle then, Frankie Wainman the winner in 2-1-2. John Lund in car number 53 took second place in that last minute dash